welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie, and welcome to day 5 countdown to Christmas or to the holidays. And we're going to be working on this section here. If you are not familiar with what I am doing, I'm working on an Advent, and I've set this up as an Advent calendar. And this isn't Christmas related, but it's really pretty bright colors. I did purchase this from Add More Zest, and they worked in conjunction with Diamond Art Studio UK, and I'm loving how this is turning out. So today we're going to work on day 5. We've already completed 4, and the ones that we have done, 3 out of the 4 have flowers, and so we're going to see what today's going to bring. And I do have my light pad on to make it easier for me to see. I'm going to flip this around and then we're going to get started. I have rearranged the release paper just so I have better lines, and also I have moved 19 around a little bit and 20. So we're going to be working on a half of a cassette today. So that's what we're doing. And if you are not familiar with a WIP and chat, that is a work in progress. And I am working on, as I mentioned, my Advent, setting this up as an Advent calendar. And if you have not seen any of my prior playlists on this, I will include that underneath the description as well as the top of the eye. And the way that I've been doing this, and I'll probably continue to do this up until the 24th of December, is that I will chat a little bit, and then I will put us on a time lapse, and then I will show the completion. And also I have an Advent calendar goodie pack that I purchased from Add More Zest, and I open that at the end of each of my WIP and chats. So if you would like, grab something to work on, or you can just simply treat this as you would a podcast. Totally up to you guys. Usually if I am listening to a WIP and chat, I will go ahead and I will actually diamond paint or clean my house or do something just so I have company while I'm working on something. I'm going to go ahead and start out with all of the white just to get the white out of the way. Of course, the white's a little boring, but it has to be done. So let me know how you guys are doing and what you're working on. If you celebrate Christmas, are you getting ready for the holidays? I think we are just about there. We can't decide if we're going to decorate the outside. I don't think my husband really likes to do that very much. So I'm not really sure if that's going to happen or not. But that also brings me to a question, and I don't want to say that he is a Scrooge, but is there anybody in your family that just doesn't care one way or the other about decorating? He is really good about getting the tree for us, and he likes a live tree. So we do go and get a live tree every year. This year we've bought one sooner than we normally do in hopes that it is going to stay hydrated, and we are able to have the tree longer than what we have been in the past, because usually the tree will die before Christmas and we have it lit just long enough to open our presents for Christmas Day, and that's about it. But this year we're hoping, so far our tree looks really good. It is drinking water, which is a start, because our last 2 years of trees, they were not taking any water. It was like no hydration whatsoever. So he is good about that. He will get all my Christmas things down from the attic. He lets me decorate the house however I want to. He doesn't care. So I don't really want to say he's a Scrooge, but that was an actual tag question that I found. And I thought, nope, he's not exactly a Scrooge, but if it were probably up to him, he might get a tree and that's about it. he wouldn't really care about other decorating and doesn't really care about the outside, which is becoming more and more obvious because I've been asking him if he would just put some lights up on a gazebo that we have in our yard, and he keeps balking at it. So I don't think that that's going to happen, and I know I can't do it. I can put some lights on our bushes in the front yard, and I might do that, but it's been so rainy and nasty lately that I haven't been able to get outside anyway. But he is really good about doing things like that I think maybe a lot of husbands might balk on. Every year we have a family photo taken with Santa, and he never complains about that. He doesn't say, I'm not going to do this. He has his picture taken, he goes with it, he lets me upload it onto my channel, and so for that, you know, I'm really grateful, and it's fun. He had never had his photo with Santa. When he was a small child, he did, but I don't think it was like a tradition that they did it while he was growing up. So it's still fun to do that. It's like a family tradition that we have created since we've gotten married, and Paige loves it. Madison goes with it. I think secretly she likes it. She just doesn't want to admit that she does, because when we told her that we had gotten our Christmas photo with Santa, she was a little bummed because she wasn't here to do it too. I am liking this tray. I wasn't sure. I purchased this tray from Kitting Up Kitten. I didn't show you what I'm using. Purchased this tray from Kitting Up Kitten, and I really do like it. It's light, and the drills are lining up very well. I'm using this pen from Bistro Blanks, and it's a snowman. I bought that last year, and I was in an event I participated in an event with Sam, who is the owner of Kitting Up Kitten. And so before the event, I wanted to purchase one of her trays, and she is on Etsy. I'll put the link underneath the description. And she did, for the month of November, she did a cross stitch conversion event, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I am going to check out and see if she has any more trays. She was having a purple limited edition, I think it was purple, a limited edition tray that came out first part of December. It may already be sold out, but I was going to check on that and see if she still has that tray. I like the size on this one. It does come with a stopper. I just don't use stoppers. And with this, I don't even really think it needs a stopper because my drills aren't falling out when I'm shaking it up, so that's a plus. I am really bad about setting my stoppers down for my trays, and then I forget where I put them. But I try to keep them on my desk, and then I will just put them back in the tray when I'm done. But for me, I don't want to take the time to take the stoppers in and out, and I don't shake mine so hard most of the time. There are some times that I do I get a little aggressive and start shaking my tray, and then some of my drills do fall out, but for the most part they don't. It is early morning here, but it's still a very nasty day. I was hoping we would get some halfway decent weather, so when I go to record, I can use some natural light a little more than I can having to use overheads, and sometimes overhead has such a glare that it's not as clear as I would like it for it to be for you guys, but unfortunately, it is what it is. I am still working along on my cross stitch conversion, the Mystery Advent from Add More Zest, or sorry, from Diamond Art Studio UK, and I am enjoying it. It is taking up a lot more time though than I expected and that I had planned on it taking. I am picking up speed on it, but it is really slow going, and I enjoy cross stitch conversions, but it's just taking me longer because of the way that the canvas and the pattern set up. I am trying to stay at least a day ahead on it, but it's not working so well on me staying ahead. When I get to a certain point, I'm going to share what I've done so far as just a separate video. I was going to show it every day and just do a day behind, but I want to just show a few days at a time, and I'll do just a separate short video on that one. Just because I really don't want to have it to where others might see it if they're, behind. And if I do a separate video, I can go ahead and warn you guys at the very beginning that it's day 1 through whatever. So I'm going to do a few days together, and then I'll make sure that it's delayed. It's not going to be on a day. It's not going to be on the day of that particular date. Some of these, I'm going to have to get my straightener when we're done. And I'm hoping my head doesn't show in here, because I'm trying to do this where if you want to look at this, you can. I don't think very many listeners actually watch the screen for WIP and chats. I know I don't, but that doesn't mean that somebody else won't. But this gives you a good chance to take some time for yourself and work on your canvas for about an hour or so. My last videos have been close to an hour, if not an hour. Or actually, close to an hour. I think the first one was an hour, the others are not. But as we progress, it may be shorter. Just depends on what all I can really talk about. Let's see, I'm almost finished with the white, so that's definitely good. And I'm glad that we're working on something else besides a flower, although this is going to have a flower in it, which is fine. But I think the cassette's going to be a lot of fun. Brings back memories having cassettes and listening to a cassette, and all of a sudden you hear that dreaded sound where the cassette player is starting to eat your cassette, and you have to take it out really quick, and you have to get a pencil and you have to wind it. I am so glad that we do not use cassettes anymore. That was a chore. The only nice thing about a cassette was that you could take it with you. You could listen to it in the car. Because before that were albums, vinyl albums, and you couldn't exactly take a record player and vinyl albums in your car. Okay, I am not going to do this up here. You can kind of see it, but it's primarily covered by number 19. So I'm not going to do those, and you can just see it because you can see through the light pad. I do have a couple more whites here. I thought about blinging this one up and decided not to. I'm just going to do it exactly how it's charted. And the same way with my converted cross stitch. And let's see how good these pour out. Oh, I like this spout. I do like this tray. I like how it feels in my hand too. Okay guys, we just had a power outage, which I thought was really strange. I hope that whatever I was talking about, I think I was done, but it was just for a split second, but then I had to reset everything, and then we have a camera system and it starts beeping whenever it goes offline, so I had to run and take care of that because the beeping would be very annoying on camera. Also, it would drive me insane. And that was just really weird. It's not storming. It has been raining really hard, but not storming at all. But I was referring to cassettes. I think all of that did get in here, but it is just really cool to see a cassette in here. Some of you may not have ever even seen a cassette. I know my daughter's has never seen a cassette, and if I never see another one or have to use another one, then I am happy about that. I'm working on number 6. Let's see, I'm trying to see if there's anything here. Some of these look like the same colors, and I really do like this tray. So I am definitely, as soon as I am done with this video, I am going to go to Etsy and see if Kitting Up Kitten has any more. And I will order, I only ordered one from her the first time to see if I liked hers, but I will be ordering a couple. She is out of the UK, I believe. It does take longer to get my orders, or it took me a little bit longer to get my order from here, which is fine. All right, let's see. I am using Randa's Crafty Corner putty in my multi-placer, and I'm also using a glue dot in my single placer. I have had this glue dot in here for a while on this pin, and it's still going strong. I shouldn't say that because then I'll have a problem and I will have to change out the glue dot, which I'm hoping I don't have to do. Not much has really happened here since yesterday, other than we're still having really bad weather. It has just gotten just nasty out. It's been raining for off and on for about 3 days. It wasn't supposed to rain today, but when we went to bed last night, I told my husband, I said, I think it's raining. And we checked, and yeah, it was just barely sprinkling, but then it started raining really hard in the middle of the night. And of course, my dog has to go and start drinking water like crazy. And her water and food bowl are in another room outside of my craft room, but she is so loud. She's definitely a collie when she eats. She just slurps. She doesn't care. When she eats, she does the same thing. She crunches extremely loud. And then my other dog, my Shih Tzu, she is so dainty. She just takes her time, and you can't even hardly hear her when she's eating. But with Molly, she sounds like a horse. And she is a big dog, but my last collie was the same way. She didn't care. And you'd think with collies being such elegant dogs that they would be graceful. Now when she runs, she is extremely graceful. I love watching her run. She leaps more than she runs, and she can run. I mean, she is very speedy. But it's just really funny when you see Lassie, you know, on TV, and you think that collies are all these graceful dogs. They're working dogs. They're not graceful. I'm working at a strange angle. I did put another video up, and it is on my end of month review for November, and I thought about not doing it or just doing it November and December combined, but I have already done 10 for the year. I've done one every month, and so I didn't want to miss out on having a full year, so I did put that one up. Didn't look like I did much in November, but I really did. But I was really busy, and December is probably going to look the same way. I'll have this one completed, and I will have my Sugar Plum Fairy, I hope completed. Should be. I think that it'll be completed. That's the plan. And then I don't know about the cross stitch conversion. It may be completed. It may not be. The mystery one. If I don't pick up some speed on that one, it may not be completed in time, because I do have others that I want to work on. I don't want to spend all my diamond painting free time working on that cross stitch conversion. Even though it's fun, it's just I have to think more, and sometimes I don't want to. I just want to diamond paint, not have to think what I'm doing. And I've got some other canvases I would like to work on, some other holiday ones. I don't think that those are going to be done. I'm going to add some more in here. I need to fill up my little containers too. It's starting to run a little low. Let's see. I have been using a metal multi-placer and going back to this plastic one. It's taken me a minute to get used to it. I've been using the Diamond Art Club, they're real thin ones, and those are rather expensive, so I'm not going to have one for every pin, unfortunately. I'm just having to change them out. I do have quite a few pins. I do like how this pours out. I am really impressed with this tray. There's something in here. There, that was bothering me. Okay, so now let's go to a U. Another question that I was thinking about is we are as I mentioned before, we're a Santa family. We love to go and have our Christmas photo with Santa. My youngest daughter is autistic. She also has a learning disability, and she halfway believes in Santa still and halfway isn't sure. And she's 22. And my husband told me for a couple years, he said, you really need to tell her that, the meaning of Santa, and, you need to have this discussion with her before Christmas. And so I don't have the heart to do it. I don't want to burst her bubble, or anything like that. So again, is he a Scrooge? I don't want to, I don't know. I know where he's coming from, because, she is 22, and it's time that she, understands certain things. And I kind of wanted her to figure it out on her own about Santa, but I don't know. I think she's just holding on to hope because she is extremely innocent. And I don't know. I just not sure exactly when and how I'm going to do it. Santa has his own dinnerware. We have a cup and a saucer for his coffee or milk, whichever one that the kids always wanted to have out for him. And then we have a small plate for cookies. And then they wanted Santa to think that they were fancy when they were little. And so Santa has a cup and a saucer and even has his name on it. And I bought that when Madison was really young. She may have been 2 or 3. And we have had that particular plate and saucer out and cup that long. And so every year, Paige has wanted to make her cookies. She loves to make these sugar cookies. And she will, before she goes to bed, she makes sure that Santa has a couple of cookies. She puts some milk out for him. And she will have a napkin. I mean, she has it all set up. And then she has a little note that she would write. Madison wrote a note before Paige could write. And then Paige would tell Madison what she wanted to say. So that's been, another tradition that we've been doing. So I don't know how this year is going to look. She has not mentioned it. I don't think she believes in Santa anymore. But if she does, this will have to be the last year. I mean, I've just got to somehow explain this to her. But it's not going to be during the holiday season. I could not. That would be a Scrooge. I could not do that. I would never do that to her. But when you were a child or when you had kids, did you set food out for Santa? And if so, what did you set out for him? And that's funny because we've had the same thing over and over. And then my husband, as soon as Paige goes to sleep, I'm like, you got to eat this cookie. And he doesn't really like sugar cookies, so I have to end up eating a sugar cookie. And then she also puts out a chocolate chip cookie. And so he'll eat the chocolate chip. And then we just kind of pour the milk down the drain. Or sometimes we'll do coffee, and then we'll have a coffee cup there. And most of the time, though, she wants milk instead of coffee. One year it was hot chocolate. But for the most part, it is coffee or milk. I thought that was really fun. I thought it was a fun question. And I did the same thing when I was younger, when I was a kid. My mom would always leave out, but she would leave out quite a bit. She would leave out a whole or a section of a pie, a huge slice of pie, a couple of slices actually, and then she would leave out some cookies, anything that they baked. So then once I went to sleep, it's like the family had to sit there and eat all of that. And then she would always leave out a thermos that had coffee in it. And then they would drink the coffee after I went to bed. But that's what we always did. And I guess I just went ahead when the kids were little, went ahead and did the same thing. And then when my sister, when she was little, my dad and stepmother, I don't think they even left anything out. I think they just had a note and it said, if Santa wants anything, he's welcome to have it. Go to the kitchen. And then sometimes they would remember to put some crumbs out. Sometimes they wouldn't. She never asked. And with Santa gifts, did you wrap your Santa gifts or did you just put them under the tree already opened and put together? And that's what my mom always did for me, is that she would have all of the Santa gifts would be put together. It would be by the tree, and that's the first thing that I would look at would be the Santa gifts. And then we would go through all of the Santa gifts, which I always had quite a bit with Santa when I was little. And then my kids did too, and I didn't wrap Santa gifts. But my stepmother and my dad wrapped my sister's Santa's gifts, and they would put those out as if Santa dropped them off, which I thought was kind of cool. But it's just more to wrap. They didn't have to put anything together by doing it that way. My mom and stepfather and my stepbrothers would have to stay up late, a lot of times all night, putting things together for me. And my stepbrothers were older whenever my mom and stepfather got married, so they were already well past the Santa years. But I was only 4, and so I still believed in Santa, and they all got a kick out of it because they never had to do that. So they would always put the things together, but sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night, so they didn't get any sleep. But they were always really good sports about it too, now that I think back to it. But it's just funny how different people do different things. And then some don't believe in having the kids believe in Santa. And you know, that's okay too. It's totally up to the parent. We just did that, so I continued that with my kids. My ex-husband was all for it. I don't think that his family did Santa. I'm almost positive that they did not. But when we had kids, he was all about it. As a matter of fact, I know he didn't, because he was asking me questions, you know, how do you do this, and do you wrap the gifts? And then he really got into it, especially when the kids got older. He would love to see them unwrap all the gifts that we gave them, and then to see, you know, when their eyes would light up when they would come and see what Santa brought. So then your kids get older and they just want money. Madison just tells me, just give me money. Well, no, I'm not just going to give you money. And Paige has a long, long wish list. Her dad's gotten her a few things, and then I have a few more Christmas presents that I need to get for her. I'm usually way ahead of where I am this year. I've gotten, I don't want to say, it's not really behind because it's just the beginning of December, but I normally like to have everything purchased and wrapped by now, and not going to happen this year. I am not a very good wrapper either. Gift wrap, I do not enjoy wrapping presents. I know a lot of people do. Mine does not look very good. But I only do that for my kids, and they could care less. They don't care if their gifts are wrapped as long as they have gifts. I have gotten really bad about using the gift bags, and I make the gift bags pretty. I'll put tissue paper in there, and I put bows on it and different things, but I do not do a very good job with wrapping presents. That is just not me. So do you enjoy wrapping presents? I have a friend that loves to wrap, and hers are so pretty, but when she was growing up, she worked in an upscale gift shop, and she learned from the best on how to wrap. And so she wrapped for them for years, Well, I hope that I get this finished sometime soon because once again our power has gone out and now I'm starting to get really concerned because I have a lot of work to do today that involves internet for work. And also I've got to get some other things done on my computer. And this is not going to be good if we keep losing internet. And I might get this finished sometime today, hopefully. And I don't even know how long that this is going to be because I'm going to have to really focus and edit on this one. But at least our alarms aren't going off. And that kind of concerns me too, if I'm thinking about it, with the alarms not going off because they're supposed to. So anyway, but last thing I was talking about was the wrapping. And I just do not do a good job with gift wrapped. I mean, I have tried for years. I should have gotten some tips from my friend, and now she still wraps gorgeous presents. And unfortunately, I don't know of any shops, even the small family-owned shops, I don't know of any now that will still have like free wrap with purchase, or any that even continue to wrap. We went to a Hallmark store. We just saw one, we were driving and we popped in, and I didn't even know that Hallmark stores were still around, and they didn't offer gift wrap either. I think everyone has gotten to where they prefer just to use the gift bags. And I do that. I'll use gift bags most of the time. But last year, Paige wanted everything wrapped. So I did wrap it, and I told her, I said, my wrapping is absolutely horrible. And I was definitely out of practice on wrapping gifts. But she didn't care. It looks good to her. Went to the dollar store, let her pick out gift wrap that she wanted. And so we did that last year. I'm pretty sure she wants to do that again this year. And I will wrap hers, but then if I wrap hers, I'll have to wrap Madison's. And so that's just more to wrap. But I still have Santa gifts for my kids, and Madison has long given up the, Santa tradition, but I still do stocking for her. I wanted to do a stocking for my husband whenever we had gotten married, and he said no. He said he's never had a stocking, he doesn't want a stocking, and that he wouldn't even look at it. So again, Scrooge. The more I think about it, I think that he may fall in line of Mr. Scrooge. I may just have to point that out to him in a playful way, of course, but yeah, he doesn't want a stocking, and I do one for the kids. And because Madison's fiance will be here with her, I will do a small stocking for him too, because I want him to feel part of our family tradition. I have no idea what I'll put in it. I don't put much in stockings. Gift cards. I put some socks. Silly little things. Put some earrings in there for Madison. Let's see. Let's go to G. And I've gotten these out of order, so now I've got to figure out where G is. There's only 23. Oh, there's 32 colors in here. I don't know why I can't find a G. There's right here. Do you guys have any plans yet, or do you even set plans up for your crafting? Do you decide in advance what you are going to work on, or do you just wait and you just decide when you're done with something, or if you want to be like me and be a serial starter. I've kind of decided what I want to work on in January. There are some events already that I was looking at for January, but I am going to go less with events next year, I think. I say that, and I probably will go ahead. I don't do events for prizes anyway, but I do it mainly to support the content creator, who's hosting the event, and then also just for more of, community. I enjoy doing that too, but I want to focus more on what I want to work on and work on getting my WIPs under control. I have way too many that I have started on and laid a few drills down and just haven't done anything else with them. And so I want to get some of those done. So I'm not sure if I'm going to participate. There is one that is going to be hosted by Anxiety Art Adventures, Laura, and then also with Hannah, Sparkling Spectrumite, and that's going to be in January, and that's going to be working on one of your WIPs and trying to get one completed. And so I might do that one just because I want to, that is my goal. So I think that would be a really good event for me to participate in. There is a Richard Lorenz, I don't know if that's January or February, that's coming up. I'm not going to do that one. I do have a couple of the bird paintings, but that's going to be a 2-month event, and I am hosting an event. I don't have a co-host. I'm just doing this on my own, but I'm hosting an event in February on the Paint Gem Minis. So if you like to work on Paint Gem Minis, you may want to think about the event. I have Paint Gem is actually giving away the grand prize, and the grand prize is nice. I'm not going to go over what that is yet, but I would like to have it. But they are going to be sponsoring the grand prize. It's going to be a very low-key, laid back, and that's why I want to do it the first of the year, just to get cranked up on some events. And I have plenty of the Paint Gem Minis that I can work on. Not sure which one I'm going to do yet. I might end up doing the doors because I want to get those framed and put in my craft room or put in our entrance way in the house. I'm not sure yet, but those look like so much fun. I already have them kitted up. They're ready to go, and I may do those in February. But if you are not sure what you want someone to give you for a Christmas gift, that would be a really nice gift. And then you can join the event in February and work on your Paint Gem Minis. And that one, I'm not going to set up a separate Facebook account for that because we already have 2 that I'm working with, actually 3. I have my Crafty Diamond Facebook, and then have the J Wall from last year that's still active. And then we're going to do that one again in April. And then the one we're working on now, Sparkling Addiction, and that one I am just co-hosting, so that is really Angie's for the Facebook. But for the Paint Gem Minis, for that event, I'm going to have that on Instagram, and also in my Facebook group, and then I will have videos for that as well. So I am looking forward to that one, and then just not sure what others that I'm going to participate in. I haven't gotten that far yet. I am working on finalizing my 2024 goals. I'm looking at my goals from this year to see, okay, what do I need to continue to focus on that I didn't meet? What would be a fun goal that I want to add? So I'm not really sure, but I do know I want to set up a couple of goals. It's not going to be very many. I'm going to meet some of my 2023 goals, some I'm not, some I might continue with. I know there are a couple that I'm not going to continue with doing. I've just decided it's not something I want to continue with. But I enjoy setting goals. I enjoy trying to achieve the goals. And if I don't achieve them, I don't get upset about it. But I look to see, well, what could I have done where I could have achieved the goals? And so that's when I try, when I make my goals, I do try to make the goals to where they're achievable and I know how to get there. I don't just want to make goals to be making goals and then I have no direction of how to meet those. Almost finished with this color, and then once I finish with this one, then I'm going to put us on a time lapse. And also I have a new member for my channel, and that is Lori, and thanks so much, Lori, for joining. So I have Deborah, who has been a member now for about 3 months, and I have Lori now, who is joining her. If you guys would like to have some behind the scene content and to have some extra content, be able to see some of the videos early. For instance, both of these ladies are able to see my videos for this series early, so they get a jump start. I also have a Zoom hangout once a month for certain tiers. I have 3 tiers, so take a look at that. You can just click on the membership. If you are familiar with Patreon, it works similar to Patreon, but it is just tied directly to YouTube. And I'm learning as I'm going. There will be more content as I move forward, but I'm learning this. I'm learning what can be done with the membership on YouTube and what can't. And so that's been an interesting learning curve, but I appreciate both of these ladies so much. It does help, it goes to my channel. It helps to buy more items so I can show you guys, especially on the small shop hauls. And I appreciate everything that everyone is doing. Just by clicking on the like button, that definitely helps as well. It helps to get my videos out, and clicking on the subscribe. The subscribe is free, and then membership, it's monthly, but it is not, it is just month to month. You can cancel at any time that you would like. I'm still debating if I want to continue the route of membership on YouTube or to go with Patreon. Everything would transfer over if I decide to go on Patreon. I might do that the first of the year, because with Patreon you do have more control with Patreon, but with membership with YouTube you don't. It's pretty limited with what you can do. So we'll see, but right now I am doing the membership through YouTube. This is looking so cute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put us on time lapse. I hope that you enjoy the music, and then I will be back shortly.
Decorated in town, among all the tinsel and lights, I'm strolling around, just wondering where you have gone to. Are you just around the corner or in Kathmandu? And whether somebody new, still I wish you the merriest Christmas. I hope it will be all that you dream.
Okay guys, I have finished day 5. I think it turned out really cute. Moving down just a little bit here. So that's half of our cassette finished, and then this is what this looks like. So we have the flowers here. So far that's still my favorite. And then I've got this one here completed. We have both of those, and then the cassette. So tomorrow we will be working on day 6 here. We don't have any that are connecting yet. We have some adjacent ones, but we'll see what this is going to look like. And then now I'm going to open day 5 for my advent calendar. And also wanted to let you guys know that on day 2, when I had opened this little jar, this container, and I didn't know what it was, and it has a little washer inside, I found out from one of my amazing followers what this is. This is if you have drills that are stuck together, you can just put them in here and then you can shake them up, and that is going to help separate them. So that's really cool. Looking forward to using that. And so here is day 5. Let's open this and see what this is. Oh, nice. I definitely need this. Here are some more tips. We have a, not sure what size this is. Let me open these. Let's open and see what we have here. This is super nice. I always need new metal tips, and that's going to help. I'm going to actually put it in this pen, and I will use it for day 6. We have a curved single placer. I'm trying to get that to focus. And then we have a straightener. I love these. I'm going to use that for this project. And then I have a single placer, and I am definitely going to put that on my pen. So that is day 5. So that's really nice and definitely useful. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you've gotten a little joy out of listening to me today and possibly working on one of your projects. And if you did, please give this a thumbs up if you liked this video. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you here as part of my friends and family. And until tomorrow, happy diamond painting. Bye.